going to Ward 3. Oh, the camera's over here. I'm gonna have to, I have Norm on today, and Norm has. We were talking about. I like two shots. Let's go for a two shot. See, I'm a controlling type of person.
Yeah, one would never know that, John.
What was it? I'm at the when I went to sign up for Alderman at Large or something. Or no, I went to find whether I thought, because if you read the law, and I used to be a legal editor at Oxford University Press in New York, and we sponsor Jeopardy, still do, but they laid me off. My last 3 jobs all went to India, but we won't talk about that.
No.
One of the reasons why the president is so popular, because he actually talks about this stuff and the effects of it. But I go in there and I'm dealing with the clerks, and I say, you go do this and that. And all of a sudden I said, she trots up, and I said, as she's reading, I'm starting to learn some awareness. I said, you know, I was a sergeant in the Army. She says, no, you're kidding. You're kidding.
We would never, ever get that idea. I thought maybe you were a lieutenant.
No. I was supposed to be an officer. I was running away from a woman in New York City.
They'll do it every time.
What was it? It was January or December. If I went in the Air Force as an officer, I had to wait till June. But I could go into the Army at the end of March as a sergeant, and they were going to pay off my student loans, which was a horrific $6,000, which that was a lot of money then. People didn't have student loans like that. Yeah, but, you know, people have like 200,000. So, and my brother, who was an Air Force enlisted, because he was just a high school grad, said, are you crazy? Wait the 3 months. But, you know, she was waiting back in New York. Cherchez la femme, you know.
So how long were you in the military?
4 years and 2 months, but we don't want to talk about that because maybe I'll have flashbacks again.
Oh, we don't want to do that.
No.
I don't want to die.
I haven't killed anybody.
Oh, okay.
I listen to people dying. You know, it's strange. I'm going to move a little in here. I don't know if we can frame.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, you're fine too. See, I'm a perfectionist. They say that's a big problem.
Yeah.
But I think somebody. Whenever I'm on TV, I have one fan that is always. Yep. It's the Honorable Heidi Hamer.
Oh.
Which she called in once to your show to try to trump you, and you guessed her age exactly. She wanted to fool you, but she couldn't.
No, Heidi and I don't get along.
But that's it. But we were talking. I've been talking to you about your real forte is spirituality, and that politics is just the antithesis of anything spiritual.
You know, my son had said, Dad, why are you doing politics? It's supposed to be a spiritual show. And you know what, John? I'm listening to you. You know, because how many times have you said
Look, wait, you're the one who, remember, I see you running for Alderman at Large, which had been on a little bit in my head. So I was encouraging somebody to do it. And then I go down and put my $50 in.
Yeah. I'm still going to run for a state rep.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm not going, my views, when it gets close to the time, I'll express my views on it. You know what I mean? The sad part I have with that is I don't agree with the law that if you're an independent on a primary day, that you're going to switch over to either Republican or Democrat. I really don't agree. To me, that should be a constitutional violation.
I'll tell you, Norm, I'm so fed up. You try to create a discussion about real issues. Like, you know, I tried to bring about, you know, the tax cap's one thing, but you have to break it when, you know, crime is rampant. And then it was only like, they say, oh, it's broken by like 3%, but like 1.9% of that is actually what you can do, which would have been raised anyways. But the point is, there's other ways that you can handle it. Whistleblower laws. You know, I was going to put my guest, wanted to have Dave Colapinto, who's the National Whistleblower Center, but he's sick this week. He's out, going to Nationals game down in Washington. I guess he got the flu or something. Yeah. Whistleblower laws are very effective because they attack corruption. You not only save money, but you claw it back. But nobody, I talked to the Republicans and people that were behind it, they don't care. And that, Matt Condon says, he doesn't understand, but Democrats don't want it. They don't want any anti-corruption. Most of the leading lights in whistleblower in the U.S. Senate, Chuck Grassley, are Republicans. Very few, I think they've finally got a few Democrats, more than the one or two they had.
Well, my biggest problem is with both parties.
Yeah.
I have no respect for either one. I really don't. Then this one doing this one, that one, this Democrats are doing this, the Republicans are doing that, and nobody is taking care of business, like taking care of
Right.
your medical,
Somebody
your
like
veterans.
there's no Harry Truman
Right,
anymore.
or Ronald Reagan. And I adored JFK.
Yeah.
No one is taking care of the citizens of this country.
I read a great story. I was reading Bobby Baker was LBJ's second-hand man
Right.
forever and utterly corrupt. And he was well known to be utterly corrupt. And there's this 230-word interview that came about 10 years ago before he passed on. But he talks about all the things and how the Senate really works. Now, JFK resurrected Harry Truman, wanted Medicare, and he didn't get any. So he puts the bill in, and Medicare under Truman was covered everybody that needed it. And Earl Warren, who was the Republican governor of California, later became a Supreme Court justice, liberal Republican, which used to exist. Eisenhower put him on the court. He wanted that in California, and he always said the only two organizations in the whole world that defeated him were American Medical Association, doctors,
Right.
and the oil industry.
Right.
And he ran with Tom Dewey as his vice president in 48. And Truman beat them, which was a massive upset.
Yeah, I was
And
only 3 years old then.
Tom Dewey said, he's right, even in New York, New York and California. And he was another liberal Republican. You just can't fight these. So JFK has a good majority, and they got the Medicare vote. And it's coming down. And one of the senators that absolutely sponsored it comes to the vote, and he says nay. Everybody is violent. What they say was it soiling their union suit.
Right.
Union suit used to be long underwear. And Bobby Baker said, Senator Robert Carr of Kerr McGee, which is this big oil services committee, would be the equivalent of billionaire now, gave him either $100,000 or $200,000, which is $1 million to change his vote. And that's how it was done. And up to that time, he'd been, a regular person, not known to be sold out. But I've heard about the votes here. The difference between a $200,000 1961 or $62 to get one senator's vote. Here it's $1,000 to get an alderman's vote.
Isn't it ridiculous?
Yeah, I guess it was 10.
I hope that when I run for state rep, that I'm going to be strong. Don't get me wrong, I love money. I'm Scotch, so you know what I mean. And Irish.
I'm mostly Scot too.
Yeah,
Almost
and
half.
I like money, but I want to keep my promise to the constituents that I will not be swayed only by what they want.
Yeah, but I don't know about the constituents here in Manchester, Norm. It's
Do
like
they really
don't
care?
even. Do they even care?
Yeah.
Because the things that happen. I was visiting my half sister Anne. We're talking about. She's not from Manchester. About where there's what would be a statutory rape in Concord. Yeah. Everybody's up in arms. What happened in Bedford and everything. But here, don't care. They don't talk about anything.
No, and you're right. Over where I live, I'll talk to some people about different. They don't.
I don't understand it.
You live here. Take care of your city. Be honorable. And people
honorable. That is. I call this a city of the Queen City is a city of cowards. Where are all the progressives coming out to do anything? When they drove Dave Scannell off the board by throwing pressure on his wife, which it's obscene, and it's being done not behind the scenes here. It's being done where there's somebody on another show that's saying that he's going to do it, which as an alderman, that violates the charter. He has knowledge that the union leader is going after Dave Scannell's wife. Isn't that interesting?
That's what I don't understand. Manchester's a great town, a great city.
There's great people here.
And and for the city of this size, not very many people vote.
I think that's common everywhere, but in a city like Manchester, which is hyper-political, and we have the role, we pick the president. Yeah. Without us, Trump wouldn't be president. No. Jimmy Carter wouldn't have been president. We have this outsized role, and I was always proud of it, but ever since getting close to politics, I don't think we should this state because these people are...
No. You know what they're more interested in? It's the football teams. They really are. Think about it.
Well, Norm... Even in like San Francisco, which is so high, left wing that drove me crazy. I'm pretty much a lefty. Yeah. They love their 49ers.
Yeah.
But they actually care about other stuff. Yeah. And what happened over that rape at West Side? People would have stormed City Hall. And they have. They do Concord. Bedford, they almost sacked the entire school board.
And they're still fighting in it.
Oh, yeah.
They want everybody out of it. And I think that's great. It's too bad that Manchester wouldn't have done that when it happened to that young lady at West High School.
Yeah.
You know?
But see, it's all covered up. I tried to get all the information. It took me forever to find out that the police department, with Chief Willard, because I never met when I wrote a petition that he covered stuff up or anything, because I found out, hiding in plain sight, because all my right to knows are just rejected, that the police department, which, Chief Willard was a hands-on, and the school department had prepared the letter to go out the day after, which is proper. I wonder how that got KO'd.
Well, didn't they suddenly, what happened to this lady for a large amount of money?
Yeah.
You know what? And the guy literally, I don't even think the guy was prosecuted, was he?
Oh, yeah, he was.
He
It
was
was that
prosecuted.
bad. And she got what would be Title IX is a federal law. And it's better to go through Title IX because then she doesn't have to face certain things. As a violation, because during those years they did not improve the safety of the schools to prevent this. And,
And,
that's a violation of her civil rights. And believe me, I've heard plenty of stuff that they still haven't proved the safety. It's just they talk.
Yeah. The sad part is the teachers' hands are tied.
Well, here's another thing. I was talking to, there is one progressive I know that actually comes out and does stuff. And I was talking about this. And this person, I won't give the gender of the person away, said, and I have the feeling too, I'm tired of having to do everything. And people, where are the teachers? Where's the rank and file teachers coming out and talking about this? Where was the union? When the students' union. Yeah.
I mean,
the students' union that I go. Talk about politics. I was endorsed by the New Hampshire Education Association when I ran for school. I was state rep in 2014, and I'm sure they did in 2016 or something when I was running for treasurer. If they covered that, but see, here I go into their office to get interviewed, and they've already got a sign for a candidate there. And this is a person that all but called the leadership liars about the negotiations. But and then a friend of mine calls me up and says, "Did you go to the interview? Because the MEA didn't endorse you." I said, "No." Yeah, I did go. And he said, he made an expletive deleted. And he knows politics. But they just stabbed me in the back. No Democrats will come on my show. Like Laura Quiroga or Quinona, whatever her name is. She was so enthusiastic to come on. Then suddenly she got the word. It just drops.
Right, I'm going through that.
I go to the city Democrats meeting. Said, "Come on, we can do stuff." No, because I'll just tell you, it's you're going down, like I put Ward 13 enters the labyrinth. They draw you into a labyrinth. But where's the Minotaur to slay? They are the labyrinth. They don't care. No. They care about themselves. It's business.
If you went in there with $25,000 to get the Democratic Party or the Republican Party,
a lot less than that.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, boy, you would be welcome. You would, I'm so sad.
Okay, we got an incoming call. Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Hi, Heidi. How are you?
Oh, no, it's me.
Yeah, you didn't disguise your voice this time.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to hang up now?
No.
Who's your question for?
My question is response to Norm's statement earlier.
What's the statement earlier?
When he said that you go in as undeclared and you have to choose a party and such. Undeclared is not even a party.
No, I said
Democrat.
What I said was that
you meant independent. That's pretty.
Why does one have to change? And if you're an independent, why does one have to? When you go to a primary election,
why do you have to declare for the party?
Declare either the Democrats or the Republicans.
It is odd. Go ahead.
I don't think you're understanding.
Well, I voted
you have
for.
To declare.
Why?
If it's a state election, undeclared is not a private party.
It's independent, Heidi. He means
I'm not saying,
independent.
I said independent. Why can't we be independent and choose?
Independent is not a party either. It's undeclared and independent, same thing.
Well,
They're not a party.
we're in the labyrinth now because she just admitted that undeclared and independent are the same thing. The point is that they're private organizations, so you have to declare either way. And then I think at the end of the process, as you're leaving, you can just go right back.
Right.
Because I switched from
Right.
Democrat to Republican to vote for
Yeah.
John Hunter.
You're handed a slip to change
Yeah.
back to undeclared.
Right, so it's a
And it's
technicality.
up to you to fill that out and put it in the ballot.
Oh, I already know that.
Yeah. So it's an easy process.
Okay.
And by the way,
Clear it
just to
up
let
for
you
you.
know, Heidi, I did vote in the primary, so I do have a right to be outspoken when I want to be.
Well,
Oh, good.
you're an American. You have a right to
Everybody
be.
should vote.
Well, she let me know because I didn't vote the last time that I had no right to make any comments.
Oh, I'm going to run George Carlin's thing where he says the people that vote are the people that don't have a right to say anything because you created the whole mess. But Heidi's
Yeah.
dedicated to voting, getting out the vote.
Right, right. We love you.
Vote early and vote often.
I'm going to
Vote
go from
often
one,
is right.
I'm going to go from one ward to another with different ideas.
A repeater.
Yeah.
You get your $2 bill at each one, just like Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah. Well, when I went and voted over in Ward 10 one time, before I had my eyesight back,
Yeah.
I had this lady that kept saying to me, "Here, I'll help you," because I was blind. "Oh, I'll help you put you over here." I said, "No, I'm doing fine. I'm going to the poll. I don't need your help. If I do,
Yeah.
I'll ask somebody else to help me." She says, "Well, I'm going to show you where to vote." I go, "No, you're not." I said, "I know who I want to vote for, and you're not going to show me where to vote." "Well, you really need to go." I go, "You know what? You just violate everything. Have a good day." So there's another friend of mine that want me to the place. I know what I wasn't. I could see the numbers, but as far as that goes, I'm sure she was trying to offer to be nice to me. But for me to tell me who I'm going to vote for or show me who I'm going to vote, I was really upset. Because I knew who I want to vote for.
Right.
Like I voted for you. And I voted for Glenn.
Glenn RJ,
Glenn
the
RJ.
people's
He
mayor.
means well.
Yeah.
But I really wouldn't want to see him as mayor, to be honest with you. And because he's too footsie doodle.
Well, you might be having Victoria Sullivan on your show. Did she finally give in?
She said that she's got time and can come in early enough. And I'm one of these seeing is believing.
No, Heidi, he doesn't hate you.
No, I don't hate anybody. Why would I hate her? I just have disagreements.
Well, I tell you. Okay, enough already.
Heidi, I don't hate you. I really don't know you. Okay? But maybe some of your political views I may not like.
Yeah.
Maybe, and that's a lot of...
Heidi's very intense. Yeah. She's very efficient, too. She's half Swedish and half German. I mean, they know how to handle a problem. They just don't know how to handle, stopping the Americans in World War I or World War II.
Really. I have never, ever hated anybody in my life. Never.
That's what got me when they're saying I hate Ted Gatsas and the union leader.
Why?
There's a sergeant that sent me up a hill with my partner, Karen, and it changed our lives. I don't hate him. I don't hate the doctor that killed my father and lost his license. Yeah. And I picked him out because my father, the VA is good enough for me. And I insisted that he go to a private doctor.
I got beat up one time because I was being gay.
Yeah.
And I actually went over and I said, "You know what? I forgive you." And I said to the judge, I said, "You let him walk because you allowed it because it's okay to beat up a gay man." And she charged me $250 contempt of court.
Yeah,
and
the
I
old.
went to her and I said, "You know what? I still forgive you." I smiled. I had no money.
That was the guard. They call that in England the guardsman defense.
Right.
When you could kill a gay man because you just said, "Well, he came on to me."
Yeah.
We had a teacher at West High School that was killed and robbed by a career criminal, and that was the defense. And it actually in 1980 or
And it
81.
still is.
And I remember Heidi used to cut out the things in the union leader because he was an excellent teacher, and she used to send me to them when I was at Boston University. It was shocking that and he robbed him after he was dead, but
Yeah, and the sad part is the guy who used to own the Mayflower, he had this guy that was living with him, and the guy robbed him, cut his finger off and took the diamond ring and killed him.
Jesus.
And he got very minimal sentence.
Yeah.
And we know. People say that the gayism is, everybody says, oh, it's okay. It's still out there. There's still a lot of prejudice out there.
Oh, yeah. People, they're always looking for the other.
Yeah.
Somebody to hate.
Yeah.
But
and I'll have friends, oh, I have this friend of mine, he's gay, but we love him. Anyway, why is it important to mention the word gay?
I don't know. But we were brought up in a time where that was strictly taboo.
Oh, I had to go in, I couldn't tell anybody.
That would have kept you out of the Army up until until Bill Clinton's time.
Yeah. Oh, I went up in the school. Nobody knew. I knew I went to. That was like you said. I went to in New London, New Hampshire, where everybody thought they were all macho men and stuff like that, and all through, even in some parts of the college. But we have come a long way.
They started drugging kids, I guess, in the 80s.
Yeah.
Because we grew up where they call it hyper masculinity,
Right.
but that was just part of being male.
Yeah.
They say women control each other through psychological torture, torture each other psychologically, but males through physical violence and a physical pecking order.
My foster father sent me to a private institution when they found out I was gay, and they were showing me all these women, naked women, and what did I see on that and all that other stuff. I was there for 2 weeks, and I said, I'm still who I am. And the worst part of it was, he was molesting me too, but...
Jesus.
Yeah, so, that to me was hypocritical standards. Heidi, I do care, I don't hate you, so please, if you think I do, I apologize.
Yeah, Lou Reed, the famous rock and roller,
Right.
He was sent by his parents to a psychiatric institute, and they gave him electroshock therapy. Yeah. And I remember seeing him because I lived down in Greenwich Village briefly in like 1983 and 4, and he used to be not far from there, and he had a wife at that point of his life. Before that, he had a we would have called them a transvestite, and that we claimed was a woman. Nowadays, they'd say it was, but. And then he was hooked up with Laurie Anderson, the performance artist. I remember seeing him with a friend of mine, 1996. He says, I think Lou's still wondering, if he's gay or straight, because we were listening to his.
And that's a sad part. I don't like what they're doing today with the young children and teaching it. And like having the, it's all,
Well, it's like Havelock Ellis said, back in the 1890s.
Yeah.
Boys go. I don't know about girls. Go through all that homosexual phase, circle jerks, this and that.
Yeah.
It's all. And then David Bowie talked about that too. Then you start chasing girls or not, or some people both, and some people what was it, Kinsey? It's like 5 or 6. Nobody's very few people are completely homosexual or heterosexual.
Yeah. And the thing, and you know what? Who I am today, I don't care. If people have to judge me by my political view or my sexual orientation, they're the ones that lose.
Everybody. Judgment. That's the big thing. Everybody has to judge. Jung would have said the great problem is ego inflation that comes with judgment. Everybody wants to sit on the right hand knee of God and judge people, and because it inflates your own ego. But that's ego inflation, where you think you're behaving, you think you're God, and there's no greater sin than that. He doesn't talk about that, but when you study all the different religions, to inflate yourself with God is the ultimate sin.
I always tell everybody, and I truly believe it, aren't we all gods? Doesn't the Bible say we are made in the image of God?
And, it doesn't take long, if you think about it, unprejudiced, that God and the devil are the same.
Yeah,
they are.
Why I call them universal spirit, because according to the Christians and all that, I should be in hell. I hope they have them good. You like martinis?
Briefly, when I was dating a girl that...
we'll have good martinis down at hell together,
I hope they have tequila.
Right, okay, I'll do that too with air conditioning, I know
I have to give you a great short story. It's, what was it called? Hemingway, is it Hemingway in Hell, or... it was something. They were they're in hell. Yeah. Hemingway is a bouncer at the bar. Hitler is with Lizzie Borden singing karaoke. Lee Harvey Oswald is taking out the garbage, and Hemingway's bullying him. Was it correct? Karaoke night in hell.
See, Lee Oswald,
but that's so ridiculous.
Oswald, I really don't believe killed Kennedy.
He could have, but that's a whole other show.
And Jack Ruby. Sometimes you don't have to do that, but one thing I like about you is you do a lot of research before you speak about anything.
Well, that's what I've my whole life is.
And you're not going to speak about something unless you already know what you're going to be talking about. And I have a lot of respect and admiration for you on that.
Well, thank you, but
I'm so happy to be able to know.
But the point is, I think you are a spiritual person.
Yeah, that's what I'm going back
and going into that labyrinth is poison. Yeah. It's the utter materiality.
Actually, I've lost a lot of friends in business that way.
Oh yeah, it's just.
My co-host, who used to be on my show, and that's okay. But I've always said now she won't be a friend of mine because I don't agree with her political views, and her buddy I don't believe with him. I don't agree with him either.
Yeah,
and when people that are supposed to be spiritualists bring their personal anger against someone, that's not a spiritualist.
Yeah, and their politicians channel anger. I was just reading once again about Huey Long, who was assassinated, but there's still the questions of whether the doctor killed him, because he was shot 61 times with a machine gun. And the thing is, he had a .32 pistol, and they pull a .38 slug out of Huey Long. Nobody really knows what happened.
And they don't want to know.
And he had already passed the guy twice, and he didn't shoot him. So that could just be a story. But Huey Long, he was a person, a demagogue. They channel rage. One of the best books that explained America to me was Dan T. Carter, 1995, George Wallace, The Politics of Rage. And Wallace, I was just reading a book again, but by, what was that? Mike Douglas. He had George Wallace on his show, and he didn't like his politics at all, because Mike was, a friend of Ronald Reagan, but he was a liberal. Reagan appealed to a lot of people. People don't understand that. He was a very nice person. I met him once. But he said George Wallace was so mannerly and polite, and he talked about states' rights and everything. He wasn't a real race baiter like they were used to, although he had to do that sometimes in Alabama. And I see a meme that goes around sometimes. They have a picture of Bill Clinton and George Wallace. Oh, Bill Clinton's a racist. People that know Clinton well, I know. The one thing you can't say about him is that he was a racist. All the other stuff, womanizing, this and that, is true. But the thing was, after Wallace came back in a different time, he started appointing African Americans. He kind of made amends and became a person. He had to deal with the reality he was in. But that doesn't mean you don't have to like him. But he said, Mike Douglas said, one of the things, because he was polite and intelligent, they all thought he was just going to be one of these Southern sheriff. Because a lot of those Southern governors in the old days were like, you remember, I was just a kid watching like Selma, Alabama and all that. Thinking,
I actually was in that march.
Really?
Yeah, it was exciting.
I remember watching. I remember one of my first memories. I was telling myself, I'm glad I'm not black as a little boy, because you're watching what's going on at the Pettus Bridge or something.
I had been on a bus and I had too much
Freedom Rider.
Smoke or Freedom Rider, and we were passing the. Next thing I know, we're there, and what, and and it was just nobody really knew what the hell they were doing.
Yeah, when you say that, that makes perfect sense.
So they're all there for like you said, the freedom ride. They want, look what we're doing.
Nobody knows what's going to happen.
All this hate in the political world, half the people don't even know why they're hating each other.
Yeah, you're just born into it. One of the most famous racialists was the lynching of Emmett Till.
Yeah.
And I've read about that extensively, because you can really demonize. We have an incoming call. Hi, and welcome to Ward 13 with Norm and John.
Hi, John. Hi, Norm.
Oh, Mary. How are you?
Doing?
How you doing, Mary?
Good.
How you feeling?
Yeah, I think I'm going into a cold now.
Oh.
And stuff, so I
the heck, you know? So anyways, the comment you made, you know, I say the same thing. Norm says the same thing, and I hear you say the same thing. Everybody's welcome in all parties, Republican, Democrat. It don't matter who you are. You want to come on the show, or my show, or even Norm's show, you're welcome too.
And what's your show?
Cruising with Mary.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Mary, I'm going to be on Facebook again today when the live show.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I'll be looking for it.
And then, John, you'll be on in a couple of weeks. I'll send you a
Okay.
date. Okay. Then we'll have Facebook. Yeah.
Facebook. It's called Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll show you how to set it up.
You know, I've even asked Sullivan
Yeah.
that she would come on. I don't care who, it's 15 minutes to
Well,
come on.
she's going to come on my show next week.
I want to ask a certain question
Yeah.
and have her answer it.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're afraid to come on, I am a Democrat. I'm proud of it. Everybody should be proud. If you're Republican, Independent, it doesn't matter.
I'm a Democrat,
Be
but not
proud
proud.
of who you are,
I'm a Republican when
whether they like it or not.
You know. And you're right, Mary. That's what I'm saying. Hey, don't forget, Mary, we got to dress up for the 30th.
Ooh.
I know, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the day before.
I'm going to dress in drag.
As a witch?
No, that's a female blonde.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to get some of those hooters and a nightgown. I mean,
Some Hooters.
Yeah.
Are you going to have chicken wings?
Yeah.
Like at Hooters?
Yeah. You know. Well, I got to get going then.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for allowing me to come on.
Yeah.
Hey,
2
no,
weeks
you
ahead.
ought to use the ones that they have. I think it's the dollar store has them.
Uh-huh.
They're made out of coconut.
All right. I'll have to go look them up, Mary. If you find them, pick them up and I'll give you back the money.
All righty.
All righty? Yeah, I think I'm going to wear my cross, my preacher collar when I'm dressed in drag type thing.
So when are you going to have me on when that blonde is on?
I will let
The
you-
real
I-
blonde.
Oh, the one that was here last week? Probably in
You're
3 weeks.
tempting me.
Probably in 3 weeks.
And they're saying that I want money. My car is broken down. I need money. My car is not broken down, people. It's
Well,
money.
mine's about to
Someone's
be.
using
Send me.
money
Oh, no, this game. I got that too, Mary.
to put it out there.
Yeah.
And the dates they use on certain things, I'm not going to come
Tell her
out.
call
I
me
got
back.
an idea who it is. They
I'll have her
use
call you.
the
Yeah,
wrong
sure.
date
Okay.
on what they put out there all together.
Oh, you mean
The
you're
only
getting?
one who knows those
Yeah.
dates is me.
Yep.
So whoever's hacking me, have a good time at it. That's all I can say.